Hey, what's up guys? This is just a quick video about the very mysterious case of Oliver, who was believed to be a human-chimpanzee hybrid. So it's his physical characteristics that are the most convincing of that idea. His head was bald, very unlike normal chimpanzees. His head was smaller than that of normal chimps, about 2/3 the size of a regular chimpanzee. His jaw was smaller, and his facial structure seemed to resemble that of humans more than a typical chimpanzee. His ears were more pointed than those of normal chimps and positioned higher up on his head. Oliver was also said to have a scent that was different from that of normal chimpanzees, and he was ostracized by regular chimps who wanted nothing to do with him. And apparently, that was perfectly fine with Oliver because he preferred the company of humans over other monkeys. Unlike all other known chimps, he had the habit of walking upright like a human. Oliver was taken out of Central Africa and acquired by a couple of monkey trainers in 1960. They reported him as very human-like, walking around upright and enjoying smoking cigars and drinking alcohol while watching TV with his human owners. Oliver became famous in 1976 when he was purchased by an attorney who brought him into the media spotlight. Later that year, he was taken to Japan for 3 weeks as part of a TV special program in Japan, and they performed certain scientific tests. The Japanese scientists measured his physical characteristics as well as testing his DNA, and they reported anomalous findings. They reported finding 47 chromosomes in Oliver, which is right in between the normal number of chromosomes for a human, 46, and for a chimp, which is 48. So 47 was right in between the two species. However, later in Oliver's life, further DNA testing seemingly contradicted those findings, and he was reported to have the regular number of 48 chromosomes for a chimpanzee. However, some have argued that those later tests were not comprehensive because they were testing the mitochondrial DNA, which is the maternal lineage of DNA, and which might still leave open the possibility of an anomalous number of chromosomes on the paternal side of his DNA. Also, there's the question of whether a human-chimp hybrid might just have 48 chromosomes anyway. There are no verified cases of human-chimp hybrids, so we really don't know exactly what to expect in such a case. The following year, 1977, Oliver was sold to Enchanted Village, a theme park in Buena Park, California. Sadly, Oliver would spend the next 12 years in different theme parks and with different trainers. In 1989, Oliver was sold to an animal research facility, the Berkshire Corporation in Pennsylvania, where he would spend the next 9 years suffering in a small cage with his muscles atrophying and wasting away, and possibly being subjected to horrendous experiments and torture. Although it's said that he was not subjected to experiments, I find that very hard to believe. Oliver was rescued from the research lab in 1998 by a group called Primarily Primates in Texas, where he was able to live out his remaining 14 years in peace and companionship. In 2012, Oliver passed away peacefully in his sleep with his female chimp companion next to him, and he was cremated, which was surely done with the best of intentions, but I do regret that his body was not preserved for further DNA testing after his death. Oliver's mitochondrial DNA sequence has been reported to show some differences compared to that of an ordinary chimp. However, these differences are small and unclear what they would signify. And so that is the story of Oliver. With his body cremated, there is no more testing possible, and there are no definitive answers. However, there are examples in nature of two different species mating and producing an offspring, such as the well-known example of a horse and donkey mating to produce a mule. There's also the example of the liger, which is a cross between a lion and tiger, with the resulting liger offspring growing much bigger than either a lion or tiger. And in fact, the liger is said to be the largest cat creature on the planet. And so, with such real-life examples of two different species mating and producing offspring, there wouldn't seem to be any genetic reason that humans and chimps would not be able to produce an offspring, especially that we are often said to share over 96% of the same DNA. Sometimes it's said to be 98% or even 99% of the same DNA. So in the end, it's probably his behaviors that are the most compelling. His first owners reported that he would perform chores and tasks around the house and the property, just like a person. Also, they said he was not attracted to female chimps, but was instead attracted to human females, and in fact they had to get rid of him when he tried to mate with his human female owner. So, is Oliver the first documented case of a human-chimp hybrid? Let me know what you guys think.